Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. How you guys doing this morning? It feels like a sleepy, sunny, summery Friday morning here. Hey, Radis. Yeah, glad it's Friday. Hey, Rochelle, how are you? Acid Bro, hi. You're new here, right? I don't think I've seen you in the chat before. Same with Outrospection TV. Good morning. Oh, man. Life has been good this week. Maybe starting to sleep a little bit more. Making some progress on a few work projects, and then the personal site is starting to come together. We'll see. Hey, Curtis. Good morning. Centaur, you just trying to wake up? Are you on the West Coast? Either way, no judgment. Sleep has always been kind of messed up with this whole work from home thing. Oh man. Well, I have some good news. If you notice, like, look at right, nope, over there, right here. We crossed 500 followers. This community is growing and I'm pumped. And I have like some mock confetti. Okay, that was a little excessive. But woo! 500 followers, that's a big deal, guys. I made a mess. Should have cut like half as much confetti right there. Yeah. And we have a package to open today. So, one thing I forgot to do this week is our Wednesday wins. I forget what we were doing on Wednesday. I think we started design, but it just totally slipped my mind. So, let's celebrate on Friday. What's one good thing that happened to you this week? Put it in the chat, because the reason why we do this is we want to train our brain to be more positive. And the gratitude machine has to be kind of jump started sometimes. So put the win in the chat. Let me know what happened this week that you're grateful for. While you're doing that, I have something that I'm grateful for, which is package, which I'm kind of stoked about. So this comes from Prevail Key Company. So it's obviously keyboard related. Check it out. I got this yesterday and I specifically waited until today to open this for you guys. It's not anything huge, but indicative of the next project we're going to work on the keyboarding side. All right. So we got some good stuff here. First up, we talked about this last time, but we have some Krytox 205 G0 for switches. That will focus maybe. So this little guy, I think, was $30 just for this little amount of lube. And for those of you guys who don't know really what's going on, one of my hobbies is I build keyboards. And these are keyboard components. And you need lube for the stabilizers and sometimes the switches to make them sound really, really good. All right, so then we've got some palms. Let's see if I can focus this close. Which is a really nice linear switch. So it's got no bump, no click. It's not going to do it. No. Focus. There you go. So the thing about these is like, here, I'll mute them. You have to mute it from OBS, so you guys can hear these switches here. It's literally nothing. Like, it is so smooth. And the thing is about these ones is that they haven't shared the material that the stem is made from. So that's kind of cool. And then we've got a whole load of Gateron inks, which are another form of linear. And when lubed, these things are super, super smooth. So I'm pumped for those. Let's see if there's focus on that, maybe. Yeah. And these are cool because they've got this like smoky housing. So it'll allow some of the RGB to shine through. And then finally, we've got stabilizers with gold wires. Those are not really special, but you'll see those on the build. Fun stuff. All right, so let's hear your wins. Okay. Weekend started here in Rotterdam. Okay, what's up, Richard? All right, so 2 of your concept 2 of your concepts have been chosen versus the agency that your boss hired, and also your logo design for the new project has been chosen and approved. Congrats, Richard. That's great. What a good week. Best week in a long time. Nice. Radis, this week's win for me is work private related. I overcame my own imposter syndrome and embraced my role in future. Congrats, man. I'm pumped for you. Rochelle, not work related, but successfully made it through a 7-day fast. Are you serious? Dude, that's huge. I've done 3 days before and that was hard. Wow, good for you. That's amazing. Hey, good morning, Nikki, Joey, greetings. And let's see. Akile, thank you for the follow. Hanib, thank you for the follow. The first 3 days are the worst. Yeah. So I got the taste of the worst that fasting had to offer. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. So I've got 2 keyboards inbound, and I've got one that we still have left to build, and I think that like I've got enough supplies for all of them. The trick is I've got 4 different kinds of switches for 3 boards. So I'm gonna have to figure out what switches to put on what board. So I'm kind of pumped about that, but you know, decisions. It's always tricky. Hey, thanks for the follow, Agrafina. You guys on YouTube are quiet today. I think there's 5 of you. Just want to say hello. Is drinking coffee instead of eating a meal fasting? Well, I think Rochelle's the expert, so I'll let her respond. But based on my research, you get the benefits, like all the health benefits of fasting, even if you drink coffee. You got some Gateron Reds? Are those clicky? I don't think so. I think those are tactile, right? Yeah, see, black coffee's okay. J10 Art, good morning. What's up, everybody? I think I have switch test right here. Yeah, here we go. So, let's see. See what those Gateron Reds are. Let's see. I'm missing one. The girls like to play with this. These are all different kinds of switches that you can use. So here's Gaterons. Yeah, so they're linears. So there's a silent version too. Yeah, those are nice. A little scratchy. Cool. Radis, you can't put sugar and milk in your coffee if you're fasting. That's sugar and milk. Hey, Lamont, good morning. I could access your previous upload on YouTube. It said it's had some issues on it. Did it get fixed? I'm not sure. Somebody put a copyright claim on one of my videos, which I don't really understand because I don't play copyrighted music. So if you're talking about that one, I'm contesting that, which it's just crazy. It came from it was a television company out of Mexico called Telemundo something, and they said that I was portraying or I was playing the audio from one of their sports streams, which is just, it's weird. It's really, really weird. And I have a sneaking suspicion that like this is getting to the point where people are putting those copyright notices out on other people just to take their ad revenue, because most creators are intimidated when they see these things come through. It's really strange, but hopefully in the next 72 hours, we'll be able to, figure it out. Zach, good morning. I'm well. Richard, yeah, right? The top camera is pretty great. I'm pumped about it. There's really nothing that I'm waiting on to set up the second angle, which will be nice, so I'm not like always cranking my neck this way, but it's just a space thing. This little office is starting to get a little crowded. All right, so what we're working on today is more web design for the personal site. What we did last week was good, but as with all first drafts, it's kind of like you want to get the bad stuff out of the pencil first and then kind of continue pushing the concept. I also have some sketches that I've done for different ideas that we're going to implement today. So these, let's see, focus. Yeah, so we're going to try some of these. I got some ideas for like menu options and buttons and that kind of stuff. So a little bit of brainstorming last night. Tell them who don't need to claim themselves. It's funny. Doing some copywriting today. Nice, Joey. Fridays are always like kind of a weird day to stream because people are either busy for, with work, or you get the weekend crowd. So a lot of you guys overseas, not in the US, are in your weekend mode, whether it's Friday night or Saturday morning. So it's kind of a quiet day, which is actually pretty nice because last time you guys were so busy in the chat that I was getting distracted. That's all good. Community is why I'm here. Rita says he has an ask for the chat. Does anyone know any good writers about branding and who would love to write about it on a regular basis? So he's looking for a copywriter. Oh, Joey, your late hour work? Nice. Hey, I can be a distraction. No problem. We should be getting a coffee shipment in on Monday, so I'll share with you what's new on that side as well. We've been all about Boy and the Bear over the past couple of months, and I think next month we'll break out of it and try some other things. There's some great roasteries here in Greenville that I'd like to try, so that's going to be up next as well. All right, let's get into it. How's the music? Is the audio okay today? Because like last time it was not on. Obviously you guys can hear me, but is the music all right? It's too loud. Rom, you're barely getting ready to head out to the office and everybody seems to be on weekend mode already. Ah, yes. It's a mentality. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? All right, so, hey, Julian, I am doing well. Good to see you on YouTube. So I'll share with you guys where we left off. And I'm going to turn the music down in my headset for a little bit. It's 5 o'clock in Latvia right now. Nice. All right, Nazreen, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, so here's the concept. The concept is instead of doing this whole lengthy homepage where I'm having to fill the space with like all the new stuff and then risk being out of date or, just kind of, it felt like like filling it with fluff. The concept is the user's going to hit the landing page, and then they're going to be forced to choose to either, hey, see what I've done, see where I've been, the then mode, or see what I'm doing now. And that's going to go to the now page. So I've been working out different like navigation options and I guess different ways to position the two calls to actions. And this is where we left off last week here, where you got a picture of myself right in the middle, and then you've got a couple of background reveals. So so this is the prototype version. So the site would load something like this. It's got a nice grain in the background. I'm all about that. And then when you hover over one side, the background changes and this type changes, which is cool. It's not like, I'm not thrilled about it though. And I think the reason why I'm not thrilled is because there's a photo of me right in the middle of the screen, which does not mesh well with my anti-ego. That makes sense. So last night, like I said, I was sketching and exploring some other options. I'm sorry, I was cheating on you guys. I was doing design work off stream. But I was playing around with more different colors and typography, and I was also doing some different ways of approaching the interaction. And I came up with some pretty cool options. Like this is one, it's just text, just outline text, and then on hover, same kind of like background effect would appear where the background would change in totality. But I like this kind of like outlined, super tall condensed sans serif type here. And then I was like, well, maybe what if it was like an image reveal? You know, what if the image was inside the letters, and then on hover, the entire background displayed, like the mask went away. So there was that. There's so many bends on your screen right now, right? But you can see that I'm starting to really refine the way that the grid is working on the screen and the way that like the navigation is. It's super simple, which is what I want, you know. So then I came up with this version, and this is the version that I like so far. So obviously this copy needs to be tweaked. It's garbage. But as far as the type goes, I'm all in on Grotesque. This is the test version of Founders Grotesque, which I think I need to change because I'm still having trouble stomaching spending $900 on the typeface right now. But I'm adding a little bit more flair. I've got like, you know, these curvy arrows. I've got my icon there. So it's starting to make more sense. And then when the user hovers over, I guess, this lower quadrant of the screen, I'm thinking it should like, oh, hold on. There we go. Do something like that, where their cursor turns into this, you know, rotating, see what I'm up to, and it kind of follows them. And then if they scroll over here, a different image loads, and it kind of is offset from the other one. So it shows like, you know, the different options, and it really demonstrates. And like, I'm struggling to describe this. It's one of those options where like every single movement that the cursor makes is going to indicate where the user's going to go. So if they move the cursor over here, maybe the image kind of floats over to the right more. If they go over here, the image in the background kind of floats left. But it's not a super obnoxious because it's a background image. So this is the kind of thing that I'm like experimenting with. I'm a sucker for these arrows, like those curved arrows. I forget where I saw that, and I was just like, man, that's super cool. So I got to update that there. But yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where my head's at right now. And the thing that we're gonna work on today is both this kind of this page where I've got some other options to try with the different hover effects and the different ways about going about this interaction. But then also we're gonna experiment with a different typeface that I actually bought last night. I couldn't help myself. Yeah, so that's the status check. What do you guys think? Are we getting closer? What do you guys think about this green background? Like where things are headed, subtle interaction, but not over the top. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Rochelle's got to work on your site. Oh no. Yeah, mine's broken too. Yeah. Nice. Not against the phone. Well, cool. Yeah. It's going to be interesting doing all this kind of stuff in Webflow because, especially with like the cursor changes, like if this is attached to your mouse, this is something I know it's possible, but I've never done in Webflow before. So that's going to be a bumpy ride. And then getting this background image to respond to mouse positioning is going to be another thing that I'm like, ooh, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. If this is the way we go, got some other ideas that we can kind of plot out today. You like the photo and type option better? Makes total sense, man. I am beautiful. Another kind of like option here was like maybe on hover the the image is just kind of centered in the grid here. But it just didn't feel as dynamic to me. I don't know though, we'll see. Keep pushing it, but I'm digging the green background. I like the green with the pop of red. Legibility is a little bit of concern with this color, but we can make sure that works. And I think that with these images loading in the background, it might be an image, but I'm thinking it might actually be just some B-roll without sound that plays, you know, stuff that we've captured from the future and stuff like that. So whenever you have a moving background and a static foreground, it helps with legibility most times. So we'll see how it goes. But I like that color combo where it's a super like hyper saturated orange and then the dull green. I might need to add some yellow into that green, but like I think we're almost there, the colors. And the cool thing is that you can do something like a pink, which I pulled from one of my inspiration pieces that works really, really nicely with that red. Something like that. I don't know where we would implement this, but like having a palette that we have options, you know, maybe it's for Twitch streaming or something on Instagram where I want to mix up the colors. Something like that could be really cool. What's the hex on the green? Let's see. It's almost black. It's 1B1E1C. So like it takes kind of getting in there for you to see how green it actually is. And that's what I was going for, is like almost black. Like on some monitors it's going to look black, but I just wanted a little bit of flavor in there. And then I'm gonna have a lighter green that goes kind of on top of that. Yeah. Yeah, man. This is the part of the process, like where we left off last time was the creative low for me. And I like it. I like what we did last time, but I'm just like, it can be so much better. And so this is me starting to pull out of that low. And I'm sure that like at some point it'll get, you know, I'll hit a peak again and then go down into the valley, but the confidence level fluctuates through the whole project. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm definitely not the only one that experiences that. All right, so let me show you. This is the Founders Grotesque. And I love it. I really do. But it's so expensive. So then I found this. What is it? Stelvio Grotesque. Have you guys seen this? Look at the similarities there. It's not as like, doesn't have as much personality as Founders, but it's pretty dang close. So this is Stelvio on the bottom. This is Founders on the top. So a couple of things that I like. I know I said I don't like inkwells, but this little accent on the T is just incredible, right? The double story G is to die for. I like that the ear is not as pronounced on this one. The only thing that I like Founders better is that like the counters are just slightly more closed. So you can see the E here versus the E there. And then the line weights, like say for example on these A's, if you notice the A has a little bit more taper in Founders than Stelvio, but Stelvio was $100. So, right? So I think we're gonna move forward with that because it's a beautiful typeface. And for some reason, nobody's talking about it. I was worried, like, because I didn't see it on fonts in use, except for literally the the person who made it posted there. I was worried that like maybe there's something technically wrong with it. There's a good amount of weights, you know, so light, regular, medium, semi-bold, bold, and it looks great in text, you know, because it's got those wider counters or those more open counters. It doesn't close in like Founders does, because Founders you actually have to use a text version. So I'm stoked that I found it, and initially I was kind of worried that like, is there something wrong with it? But I don't think it is. I don't think there is. And as far as, you know, getting a similar look for the same price, bargain. Nice. Yep. Stelvio Grotesque. Go buy it, and then send them a message and tell them you came from the stream. All right, so then the other one that I'm not as stoked about is the exclamation point. You see, this is a rounded dot versus a square dot. I mean, we're getting so nitpicky here, and we're gonna rarely use this exclamation point anyways. Which is strange that Founders has a rounded dot on the exclamation point, but a square dot on the I. Isn't that weird? Let's see if we can get a actual. Is this another one that I need like a special keyboard shortcut for to get an actual apostrophe instead of a prime mark? Because Chris would lose his mind if he saw this. It's normally one of the brackets in Alt. Y'all, you remember last time? Last time we were fighting with the M dash and N dash, trying to get that on Windows. So I actually added it to my Stream Deck as a shortcut. It pastes the code. It pastes the thing in there. So now I go to my design, and then I just hit M dash, and it's it's there. So it's a cheat, but I don't have to like figure out how to get a numpad on this. Windows is so dumb for that. I actually really have enjoyed Windows, but for that it's like, man, yikes. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna have to do the same thing with the apostrophe, because like my Alt Shift bracket is not working. Strange. Dude, I posted, so Zach, it's funny you say that. He will literally go through everything that we make and find prime marks. I think it's like a secret mission, and then he'll email us and just be like, hey, I found a prime mark on the privacy policy page on the website. That's one of his pet peeves. It's awesome. All right, so we'll leave it there for now. So I'm happy with that. I really like that that typeface. It's good weights. Yeah, really nice. And they have another one which is really kind of interesting. I'll just show you this before we kind of launch into a new version. It's super interesting. Not something I would use every day, but like, how funky that is. Crazy. I'm a sucker for that double story G, and if whoever called that out on chat yesterday, thank you for that. I was totally spacing on that. I think we were talking about the double story A. But yeah, I'm happy with this. All right, so let's get a couple of different versions in here. So just so you know, I'm going off of the sketchbook here. Let's see it there. So I'm gonna be going off of this, and nope, not that. This way. So we're gonna be doing. I just did this one, right? So this has the 2 buttons on the bottom. Basically, I want to see what it would be like to put the monogram that I've designed a long time ago in the middle, and then just do a then and now kind of button. And then I've got one version where it's just a half and half screen with 2 different images, and then when you hover over it, it kind of takes over the rest of the screen. Some options for a button here where it's like it just says then, and maybe it like pulses a little bit on screen, and then when you hover over it, it animates on the rest of the text that's kind of like circular. And over here we've got, okay, so one of the biggest problems that I have with my current layout is that the everything's centered right now, and the whole goal with the site is to avoid like any kind of like centered thing. But when you're doing this half and half thing, it kind of has to be centered. So I'm going to try left aligning the text and then having the buttons under text, kind of like I have it currently, but then also having a 50% split in the background image. And then depending on what area you hover, the background image kind of like expands. This is just navigation options. And then this is kind of a hover situation where it just says meet Ben at the bottom, and then the word changes depending on where you hover. So it's like meet Ben then, meet Ben now, depending on what area of the screen that you hover over. And obviously there's a background change in there. So I don't know, we'll see. We shall see. What's the limit on the amount of typefaces that should be used? I always try and just have one. Okay, so the right answer is as few as possible, right? Because you really need to maintain consistency in your type so that the user gets accustomed to what each different style means. And that's the right answer, like design school approved. It's like as few as possible. Try and stay in one font family, because combining typefaces is pretty gnarly. But then there are the rule breakers. And if you look up Bethany Heck is a great example, and someone I draw incredible inspiration from. Bethany Heck is a really big proponent of multi-typeface designs, and sometimes she'll have like 6, 7, 8 different typefaces in her designs, and they look amazing. So I would say, like, learn the right way to do things, learn how to correctly build a typography system in a good quality type scale with a single typeface, and then play around with some fun stuff. You send that Bethany Heck talk to everyone? Oh, cool. Yeah, Heck House. That's her. Yep. Yeah, she's incredible. She actually went to school with Jamie, who was our designer. You guys saw her probably in Building a Brand. They went to school together, and that's how I was introed to her. Yeah, it's tricky to plan out, and it's tricky because like this screen, like the homepage, is so different from the rest of the site, because it's so simple, you know, and it's not a scrolling thing. It's not like something that's going to be different slides and stuff like that. So it's forcing me to think a lot differently. Could also do a 1/3, 2/3 approach, where the part you want to give more importance to uses 2/3 part of the screen. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, so first things first, I want to pull a couple more photos, because I've got that one black and white one that I like. Minimize Discord here. and we'll start getting into it. We are going to be doing a critique today, so if you're interested, definitely jump in Discord and put something in the crit channel. Happy to look at anything. And the way I'm thinking about critiques, guys, is that it doesn't even have to be a critique. If you just need help, I'm happy to jump on and help. So we'll try and take a break around maybe like 12 o'clock or 12:30, and then end the stream with 1. And I think I'm going to go until 2 today, depending on inspiration. John Beatty, $150. It's yours, dude. That then and now is great. It would work well for me since I'm so old, and my old work is what gets my new work noticed. I like that. I think your story is really incredible. So you use the 1/3, 2/3 approach to act like a book page about to be turned, so it still achieves the focus on the main part, but invites the user to go and discover the 1/3. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's try it. I need assets though, so let's first start with that. So we've got this one, and I'm just pulling things onto the page. I'm actually gonna throw that in a rectangle. If you guys working in XD, I highly recommend just throwing a div or a rectangle on screen before you throw images in it. That way, when you're going to resize, it acts like a mask. Let's find one more. This probably needs some Photoshop treatment here. John says he doesn't know how to tell his story. It's full of pain and rage and regrets. That's the way you tell it, man. Full of pain and rage and regrets. You should make a comic about it. Dude, I'm telling you. You can make yourself look super svelte. Oh, I guess you can't drag photos onto an icon. Oh, that did it. Okay, that did it. I'm just getting this photo ready so it kind of matches the other one. It's got good noise in it already, so actually won't need to add any. These were the days. You know what's funny is in the video, you notice that like when I'm doing this thing where Matthew's doing, where he's like pointing things out, I'm like smashing the sketchbook. I'm totally irreverent with this dude's sketches, and I guess that's a crime. And I called him and apologized because I didn't realize it. I was just like, oh, it's just sketches, but no, that's wrong. I'm totally irreverent with my sketchbooks and stuff like that. Like spill coffee on it, the kids doodle in it. Why does Min look so weird there? Her outline is really strange. It's a little better. She looks photoshopped in. Slices. Okay, so in final exports, we'll want to adjust the tone. Like I really like the tone of this photograph. This is one of my favorite photos. But I like how the blacks are lifted, you know, so it's got a super vintagey feel. And then this one I really like, even though it's like, it's not a crazy professional photo, just because it's like, it's in the moment. It means a lot, like personally to me, because this is literally the last night that I was picking stuff up from the office before I left. And I was like one of the last ones to leave the office when we were shutting down for the coronavirus. And all this grain, like the tone, the black and white, that's all film. So it's just, I don't know, it's a special one, even though it's like not like a pro photo. I mean, Jonah, you did a great job, but so what we want to do whenever we're like pulling together final assets for the site is adjust the tone to match. So you can see like this has some true blacks in it. The blacks are a lot darker than this, so we'll just, you know, lift all of them to match. Hey, thank you for the follow, Andrew. Franjo, thank you. Zach would be honored for me to slap around a sketchbook. It's funny. All right, so the first concept I want to do involves the monogram. So let me pull that up real quick. Let's see if my command key works in Illustrator today. I tried to recreate that issue that we encountered last stream yesterday. I couldn't do it for some reason. It's really, really strange. Yep, it worked. Interesting. Actually, maybe just lighten. So the font that I'm using to pair with this grotesque is called SAA, and it's inspired by Interstate fonts. I really, really enjoy it. It's a poor man's champion or knockout. Fewer weights, but it's got a lot of personality for being condensed sans serif. So let's try this real quick. So we can take this and say, let's make it really wide. So there. That's sweet spots. The only bad thing is like if we were using Knockout, for example, you could choose the weight and the width separately. So like this first series is very light, but you can also go super wide. So if we go this way and then all caps, it's a sumo width, but it's pretty light. So we go full width sumo. It's crazy. You get thinner than that, yeah. But this license is owned by the future, not by me. So going with SAA because that's another $1,600 font. So let's see. So I think I've used the FD in that one. And with this, we just have to decrease the size a bit. So the only reason why I'm not a huge fan of these arrows being in the center is because it hits the side nav and it points directly to that icon. So it attracts a lot of attention that I'm not sure that I want to. And if we bring them in, I'm not sure I like that either, to be honest. Increase the size of this. Oh, I was like, why does that look so off center? Because it was. Native, thank you for the follow. John Beatty, please steal this. It would be an honor, my friend. Also, I'm sure I'm not the first one to do this. Can't forget the grain. Lucky 13. And I like, if you're looking at the pairing between this SAA and, you know, one of the grotesques that we've pulled, like, yeah, it just fits, man. It really does. It almost looks like a wide or a skinny version of a grotesque. And if we were to take this, and there's one version of this where it actually has lowercase letters, and take a look at, like, and compare the difference between their X heights and their cap heights, it's pretty similar. Like, you can see it lines up. So it's a good match in my mind. Do you guys know about stacks in XD? Alex, yes, working on the personal site. Yep. Stream Elements is a bot. Yep. Yeah, so stacks in XD is actually pretty cool. So if you take a group of things like this, like let's say we really screwed the pooch and we're just, you know, crazy. So let's say we did this. We could first align them centered and then group them, but we could turn stacks on and it acts like a flexbox. So you can set the distance between each element pretty simply like that. And then if you ever want to, like, go in and tweak the things, it works just like kind of that repeat grid. Instead, it's not a repeat grid, it's a stack. You can do that over here too, just kind of stretching and tweaking these things. And then the nice thing, like the really cool thing, is that you can change the direction, just like Flexbox. So it works a little bit better than that kind of distribute function there, because you can actually set the group in between, or the distance between. Envis, at work right now, but just stopping by. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Rom, we are doing critiques. Yeah, for sure. I'll stop around 12. Auto layout in Figma. Yeah. Does Figma have, it's been a while since I've used Figma seriously for a project. Does Figma have, like, the padding feature as well, where you can add padding to a button and the button changes dynamically? don't think I like that half and half thing. I also looked into a keyboard shortcut on removing that border for all of the elements that are added to the artboard, and there's no easy way to do that either. It's a bummer. All right, let's see how this goes. Sometimes you just got to prototype it and see how it feels. It's not as elegant as the other one, in my opinion. So I think that what I originally sketched was something more along the lines of this, where we had the image kind of like responding to the cursor position. So let's see how that works. I also don't know that there's enough information on screen to give people the indication of like what we're doing here. It's like then and now, but who is this person? You know, like there's not yeah, there's not a lot to go off of. I really want that grain to just stay on the bottom. I think I'm going to try the 2/3, 1/3 thing when we go into the option that doesn't have like a symmetrical layout, like a super centered layout. Could add some text on the other side of that. Hey, Kale. Good morning. I've been hanging out with Chris way too long. It's bothering me too that I can't get an apostrophe in there. XD really, really should change that for you. And then in 5 seconds, somebody who likes Figma is going to chime in like, Figma does it. Sorry, I have to. Also, I think it was in January, maybe it was December, XD added this auto height thing. So if you click this box, it adjusts the text box to the contents of the type. So it keeps the width static, but you can continue to type. And then when you hit escape, it resizes the box to the height, which is really handy. This is Founders. We gotta get it out of here. This could be kind of cool. The image could like wipe in from the sides, you know? Could be pretty neat. I think there was a div on top of that one. Let's see. Turn that down a little bit. Definitely darken that up. Okay, this could be pretty cool. Okay, you see when I just tried to resize that and it didn't resize the image inside? That's because I was working on the exterior container. There we go. There's some good grain there. And then we need some indication that the effect was, or the arrow was like picked up. So that's where this thing comes in. That cursor takeover. Something like that. Okay. Let's prototype this real quick, and I'll pay attention to you guys, I promise. Okay, so I had a lot of doubt about this version, but it's kind of rad. Obviously, this orange piece would follow the cursor wherever you are, and it would rotate around, but it's kind of cool. Like the image could wipe in from the side, you know, whatever side we're referring to. The only problem is that like this area is still like, I'm thinking that this arrow has to disappear or something, because even though we've got a bunch of indications that like things have changed, because the original trigger disappeared with this text, I'm kind of wondering if it might be confusing. Oh, that's funny. Also, the now photo should be the one where I'm wearing a mask. Yeah, true. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, good to see you in the chat. We didn't see you. We missed you on Wednesday, and the theory was that you were recovering from a wild birthday night. Figma does it though. See, I knew somebody would jump in there. That's funny. Okay, so you guys are saying reduce opacity. Yeah. Let's try that. Let's see how that goes. I mean, it could just like the arrow could just kind of fold up or like disappear. Let's try the opacity trick first. Add design mode. It'll be like 40%. Keyboard shortcut alert in XD. If you just hit a number over an element, it changes the opacity, which is really cool. Also really annoying. So let's make that change that you guys were talking about. Throw this guy in. He's not as cool looking though. Like, come on. Also, we're not going to need like nearly that much blur on that image. Or darkness. Darkness. There's some weird stuff going on with the responsive resize on that div. We'll fix it later. Fix it in post, right? So there's one of the issues, is that if we've got light text and light icons over images that have, you know, a light background, we're going to run into that. But it's not like we're going to be pulling out of a CMS for this, so it's not a huge deal. But let's see. I know, huge faux pas, but again, we'll figure it out. gotta be like that texture. It would help the feeling to position this thing where it would be. We had just clicked on or hover over that link. I mean, honestly, it would be the entire half of the page, all the way to the nav div over here, but let's just see if that makes it feel any better. It could be cool. Let's try this here. Instead of going back to beginning, let's just trade these so we can really get that effect. See you guys talking out of the corner of my eye. I'm coming. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, quality option. Thank you for the suggestions, guys. That opacity thing really helped. But not okay. So you were dead, but not because of your birthday. Figment does it also. Lesso you probably only missed one stream because we've only been working on this for a couple of hours, honestly. We're just toying around with some other ideas as the homepage and figuring out the interaction, how we're gonna make this kind of A/B choice happen for the users. You've been hypnotized by this? Thanks, John. Appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, that would be on hover. Yeah, I'm clicking because it's XD. I'm sure Figma can do hover transitions, but also like a hover transition prototype would be kind of a nightmare. You like the hi there with the image masking? Yeah, this is pretty cool. This was another idea that I was like toying around with. Like what if on hover, like the hi there went away, like the masking kind of faded on into the background, and then the image was full screen. Maybe we should put some effort into that. I don't know. Let's see. Figma magic. So I had to kind of smartly position the image in there to get my eyeballs to poke through on the page. So this is going to look kind of weird, but so you see I didn't put this image. Oh, I did. Look at me, so smart. Oh, but it's resizing it. I'm eyeballing this just to see how it would look if we actually did this. So it could be something where we have this text show up, the one that we pulled here. Could show up like below. Oh, I was like, why is that so weak? So weak. See what I mean? You draw a rectangle and the first action is you got to go uncheck this border. Nicholas. Don't know that I like this one as much. Like, I like the layout. I think that the text is really cool, but the interaction I'm not super crazy about. Just it's something about it doesn't feel right. The other thing is that this is an effect that has a bunch of different applications that we can use. So like on the My Story page, I'm planning for that to be kind of like a Apple product page where there's a couple of different scroll effects. So like we could use this kind of thing where as we're scrolling in, we actually get a glimpse of a full width image and then it kind of zooms into the center. So it's a visual technique that we can pull in other places too. I'm not getting enough to bite my teeth into with these arrows. And it's yeah. My gut's saying no. I like this version better, this version better. But we got we got a few other ones to play with. So let's try that. I don't know, I'm crazy stuck on this monogram either, but it was a nice piece to like put in the center, and it holds the rest of the composition together because it's like it's what your eye goes to. Ben just got his vaccine shot in the shoulder. Right there. It got me, stuck me. It's funny. No Disero. I'm happy you made it too. Okay, Lesso is definitely into some animations. Let's see. So I'm familiar with Principle. I played with it, but I'm totally not a pro. Yeah. My puppy is going crazy. The text on high there is almost read as high here because the top of the T is too dark. Yeah. I'm fairly certain that that's not the play. That's not the right way to go. But it's good to explore. I actually like it outlined here more, but there's still the issue with these arrows not conveying enough information for the user to make a decision on what to do here. John, with photos, don't you feel like they'll need to be changed more often? How long can you use one before it becomes old? I don't know. I've used the same photos for years, and I'm not sick of them yet. And it's not like somebody's going to be coming to your website every single day. So if you have a really good photo that actually looks like you, like I would say, use it. Terrell, though, you're spot on. That T just disappears there. So it'll depend on the positioning of the photo. Also, in the back of my mind, it's like, how are we going to implement this on mobile or something similar on mobile? And this would be infinitely harder to make sense than something like this. Or this. All right, let's do one more version before we break into a critique. So just a reminder, if you want your work critiqued or if you need help with something, there's a Discord with a critique channel, and you can post your stuff in there, and then I'm going to invite you live on stream, and we can hang out and talk, and I can give you advice, or you can give me advice, like two-way street. It's all good. AA changes his hair color every 3 months or so. Wow. That's dedication. I wish I had hair to change. It's gone. Get out of here, Founders Grotesque. I'm sold on this one. I think this is a beautiful typeface. I'm anxious to see how it works in text, but we'll see. Okay, so the next version is this kind of half and half screen where we've got very little text, actually. Let's try that. Wow, that disappears. That's crazy. Okay. Something like that. Whoa. Where did that go? Okay, so this is where your 2/3, 1/3 concept can really shine. Up here. Matter of fact, we can actually do something real funky. Do kind of like a non-symmetrical frame around that. It needs grain, but I'm gonna toy around with this before we do that. So I had this concept for a button that was like more of a circle, and I changed the weight of this typeface to fit. Yeah. I used to be a respectable professional, and now I'm a bank robber. Yeah. Pointer override on hover. Probably just on this page, but we'll see. So what we do here is that into our pointer override. I gotta get rid of that arrow in favor of my curvy arrow here. Also, the eyedropper does not work for stroke color, so that's something that I would love to see XD do. That could be a cool like animate on thing. And then background blur can decrease on this. Brightness can get a little brighter, and then this one. Wait a minute. Oh, it's group. Background blur can increase. Decrease our brightness a little bit, and then what we can probably do is just prioritize these guys. There's that border. Where is it? Is that a fill? What? Huh. Must be a fill. What in the world is that? I don't know. Okay. I do like that, that overlap. I feel like it increases the legibility of this type. The gutter there may need to be prioritized or deprioritized. And then we can probably add some shadow onto that. Dude, select the text. What are you doing? The blur on this one is going to be way too much, yeah? I don't know. Let's see how that looks. Prototype it real quick. I don't know if I'm crazy about it, but we'll see. I like the layout. Like I like this part. You like that? Like I said, I like the text layout. I like the cursor takeover. I like the way that the text and the image are interacting. The colors are spot on. The thing that I don't like is what's happening over here. Like this feels unresolved to me. Now, what I did see on, it was some award site, which is dangerous, but it actually took the gallery and it almost looked like as the image faded off screen, it was like a cube rotating. So that could be kind of cool. Yeah, let me just try this real quick and then we'll get into critique, I promise. We're a little late, but it's all right. So what if we were to group these Johns and then go 3D? Just kind of turned it a little bit, you know what I mean? It's gonna be super gimmicky. But you know, okay, let's try that. Let's see if that plays any better. I don't know, man. It just feels gimmicky. It was cool on the award site, but like half the stuff you see on awards is cool. Until you try it, and then you realize that, like, oh, maybe it wasn't as easy as I thought. And then this layout right here, I'm not thrilled about either. Like, as soon as there's text involved, it's like, man, this is great. But then, like this, it's like, I don't know. Not a fan. I kind of like the other ones better. But what this is telling me is that, like, the text is important to me. Like, having some sort of heading on this page is going to be important, because that's what I'm missing on this lockup here. Yeah, I don't like it. Having the monogram in the middle of the two up could breathe a lot of life. Let's try that. Let's put that smack dab in the middle. I'll just flip it, yeah. That does add a lot of life. Still not a fan. I don't know. There's something about it. Okay. Worth exploring, though. Really. If you don't get these, like, lesser good ideas out of your pencil, then you'll never get to the good ones. But as far as, like, the overlapping text on an image, I'm digging it. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah, the other one's, like, if we're comparing to the other versions, it's just stronger. Yeah. More cowbell. No. Isn't that 3D cool? The 3D thing cool? 3D's always kind of, like, scared me ever since I took a 3D class in college, but the danger of being gimmicky is super strong, but, like, come on, that's cool. It's cool that we can do that in our web design software now. Harkening back to the days of Dreamweaver. When I was in school, oh man, I'm gonna date myself. When I was in school, I took one web development class, and I got straight A's in the class because, and it was not like a serious class. It was like a web development for artists or something like that. I got straight A's because I did everything in Flash. and I would bring these, like, super crazy Flash sites to class, and yeah, those were the days back when everybody was working in Dreamweaver and frames. Use PageMail. I don't even know what that is, John. Oh my god. There's a thing that Figma doesn't do. We found it. Where's the confetti? We found it. We found the one thing that Figma cannot do. Bet there's a plugin for it, though. I did the confetti earlier because we hit 500 followers, guys. That's huge, right? Like, 500 followers. The community is growing. And the thing is that, like, I'm purposefully avoiding broadcasting this to the general future network, just so that, like, I can get to know you guys first. I think when we get into Webflow, I'm going to start dual casting on the personal Twitch here, but then also over on the Future Academy channel. So then the chat's going to get really busy, but I wanted to get to know you guys really well before we went super wide. All right. So now it's time for critiques, and I'm 15 minutes late. Sorry, people. Let's jump on in here. Okay, so share my screen. Critique requests. Rom, I think you're first. So Rom, if you want to jump in this waiting room, I'll grab you and pull you into stream chat. Let's see. Critique. So we're going to be looking at the Square Mind logo. That's not it. Where's Discord? There it is. How many times did I just open and close Discord and not notice because it was the same image? Rom, let me know if you're still here. If not, we can loop back around. Room 9, come to love the Twitch community in general. Me too. It's incredibly supportive. Like, you guys are so engaged. There's people on YouTube too. That we have 10 viewers on YouTube right now. But you guys on YouTube, I would highly recommend coming over to Twitch. The chat, the difference in the amount of like engagement and back and forth is literally 100 to 1. Like, I'm looking at an entire chat feed and I don't see anybody in YouTube there. So come on over to Twitch. We'd love to have you. We gotta figure something out about like how to pull more people in that follow me on Twitch though, because I feel like the Twitch notifications are not there. We have shiny things. We do have shiny things, and we will have emojis, or what are those, emotes, pretty soon. I think it'll either be this week or next week. Probably maybe over the weekend. I'm gonna review the Twitch affiliate doc and see what the specifics are on the multi-streaming and stuff like that. Twitch channel is twitch.tv/Mr. Ben Burns. So Rom, I'm not seeing you in here, dude. I'm hoping to jump in with you. So let me know, and if somebody wants to kind of jump in line, you're more than welcome. Rom is the latest that I have as far as critiques go. Or if you have a question, I'd be happy to answer your question. For what it's worth. I need a gif of Ben throwing confetti. Somebody could have clipped it. I'm not only critiquing logos, websites and branding, those kind of things. I'm best at. What a lot of people come to me for and hire me for consulting is working on their positioning. So if you want to share your personal website or something like that, I'm happy to take a look at that as well. Or you can just ask a question. I just want to make room for people to jump on and give the community more of a voice. Never on Twitch before. I found your stream, so I know nothing of subs and stuff. It's all new to me too. I think that the deal is that like, in order to avoid getting advertisements at the beginning of the streams and the VODs, which I think is happening, I'm not really sure. In order to avoid those advertisements, you have the ability to sub to a creator, and that sub is $3 or $4 a month or something like that. And it helps support the creator ecosystem. In this case, the advantage of the Twitch affiliate program is that you guys will get like emotes that are custom to our channel, and a whole bunch of other like perks in the chat. So that's what I find coolest. Yeah, you need a tutorial. Me too, dude. Me too. Oh, you can get Twitch Turbo for $10 a month for no ads, nowhere. That's cool. Does that money go to Twitch exclusively, or does it go to this like creators? Because one of the things that I want to do is I want to try and get more people onto either Twitch or YouTube, but I want to get more designers to share their process, because like the bumpy road that is creativity is really, really it's difficult for everybody. And so I wish that more people would jump on and just share what they're doing, which I think that that's the way that the Dribbble ecosystem started. Was you were just supposed to share a screenshot of your work, like a shot of something in progress. And it turned into like kind of an agency takeover environment where everybody's sharing the shiny end result. But I don't think enough weight or emphasis has been given to the difficulties of the creative process. So I really respect designers that are willing to get on and share their stuff. All right, room 9, I saw you posted. Jump in the waiting room. The waiting room is right here. Once you're in there, I can pull you into the stream chat. We can talk about it. Twitch takes 50-50 on subs, 90% on ads, and 100% on turbo. That sucks. I know YouTube's a lot better for monetization. And they're starting to pull some things in for streamers, like emotes and stuff like that. But yeah. All right, Sean, jump in that waiting room and then we can talk about it. Would that be a good content idea? Been trying to think of content for an identity designer. Yes, of course. I think process is some of the best content there is. Like, as long as you can share it. I think Mark hit the nail on the head where it's like it's difficult to do with live projects with clients and stuff like that. But if you guys notice, Made by James, his Instagram, he's a logo designer, and he's gotten so much better over the years. It's incredible to see his journey. But he shares live client work a lot, and I think what he does is he waits for the project to be over and then shares the recordings from the days that he was sketching and stuff like that, or he recreates the process. But it's really cool to see. Yeah, that makes sense. YouTube money's better. You can customize your sub prices. But again, I think community is where it's at on Twitch. Room 9. All right. So I'm going to pull you into stream chat and let's see. Okay. Can you hear me? Hey. All right, I'm going to turn the music down a little bit. So it sounds like you're having some connectivity issues with your mic. Oh no. We can hear you kind of. It might be some bandwidth issues. Oh no. Yeah, unplug and replug. Try moving you out of the stream chat and then back in, maybe. Try that. How are we looking now? Bummer, dude. Well, I'll tell you what. While you're figuring out your audio situation, I'll go through the site and we can talk about it. Well, I'll talk about it. And then if you do get the mic figured out, just chime in at any time. Feel free to interrupt. All right, so I am going to review this from a positioning standpoint. Okay. From a positioning standpoint, the most important thing you want to do is you want to say, this is what I do for who. It's that X for Y statement. And so right off the bat, what I'm seeing is content creation that authentically connects you to your tribe. And that's good. Okay, so it explains the what you do. What we're missing is the who. So who do you make content for? And if I'm a client and I hit the site, what I'm looking for is like, is there an alignment there? Can he help me solve my problem? And from just a text-only standpoint, we're looking at the site above the fold. What I'm seeing here is like the problem that you're claiming to solve, connecting people to their tribe. I don't know that they're going to register that they actually have that problem, right? So I feel like I connect to my tribe, you guys, really well. But I'm probably missing out on some major, pieces of the puzzle. I'm probably missing out on content ideas that you guys want from me, or, a whole bunch of different stuff. So they may not identify with the problem that you're claiming to solve. So what I would do is I would actually consider revisiting this and taking a look at the problem through the client's eyes. And so is the client worried that they're spending too much time on content that doesn't actually do anything for them? So instead of saying content creation that authentically connects you to your tribe, maybe it's something like content creation or like hands-free content creation that actually brings in revenue. That's terrible. But you know what I'm saying? It actually solves a problem that the client is going to register that they actually have, that they've already diagnosed. And then the second half of that is for who? For businesses, for nonprofits, for who are you trying to serve? For influencers. I think that it's really, really important to stake that claim right there on your website there. Okay. And you're in the room. And I wish that we could have more interaction. Can you try it one more time? I don't think it's going to happen. It's cool though. It's totally fine. Nope. No, it's still all broken up, dude. Hey Rom, we're doing critiques. Jump in the waiting room and I'll pull you next. Okay. Typography needs a lot of work. And I can tell right from the get that it's not a strong point in your design arsenal. So if I were to tell you to go learn something, if I were to tell you to go research, it would be into typography. And a great place to start if you don't have money to take our typography class is to just YouTube search Bont, B-O-N-T. He goes through Golden Canon stuff. He goes through type scales and type systems. And this is a really fantastic way to kind of get kickstarted. But this type here, come on mouse, turn on. So this type here, I'm kind of confused as to why it's so small, if this is the main point of this page, but also why is it so spaced out? Your kerning is just kind of crazy here, or your tracking, excuse me, is just kind of crazy. It's so wide. So the thing is that we've got room 9, which is blam in your face, and then another room 9, which is blam in your face. And then what matters is so small and so awkwardly set that my eye doesn't even want to look at that. Even though it's up top, it's like my eye just doesn't want to go there. So I would put a little bit of effort into reorganizing your hierarchy on the page and emphasizing this more. So like this is better, right? You've got a very clear header and then some body text here. But even the body text, like the tracking is way too much on this. It's too spread out. It's hard to read. So as far as like this goes, like this is a really nice treatment, right? Where you have a lightweight and then a heavyweight together. That contrast is really nice. And I would love to see that kind of iterated in other places on this page, because in and of itself, it looks nice. You know, it's left aligned to this image and it's great. So go harder on this, if that makes sense. So okay, let's take a look at the body text here. We've got some issues. First, link styling is all over the place. Let's count. Room 9. I'm being sharp today. I hope you know this is all love, and you know all I want is for you to have, you know, just trying to help. That's what I'm trying to say. So link styling. Let's count how many link styles there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 different types of link styling all on the same page, and the page is not very long. So what the user is going to do is they're going to say, oh, that's a link, and then ignore every other thing that doesn't look like a link, right? So I think that like refining your styles, like literally all you need is 6 styles. Okay, you need a massive header, a primary header, a secondary header, a subheader, a text, and then some sort of link weight or link styling in your text, which you can also use for like meta copy. That's it, just 6. So literally pick 6 out of all the type that you have, refine it down to 6, and then you'll be in really good shape. So then the other thing is that like the body text, there's some weirdness going on. If you notice, like the connect, this text is different than this. And then even this, it's hard to see, and you guys might not be able to see. Oh, there's another text here. I didn't even notice that down there. It may be a little hard to see, but it looks like there's some sort of drop shadow or like outer glow on it. It looks like it's kind of shimmering almost on the edges. It might be my screen, but I'm noticing something there. And so you want to just scrub all of that. If it's not legible on the background, then you need to change either the text color or the background color. So I think the main message that I'm getting to you is like simplify everything. These links, if you notice, they disappear on the orange, so you might want to just make those black or something like that. And then as far as having a stacked navigation in this corner, I like it. The thing is that like the logo is so huge on this side that this kind of gets lost. So if you're weighting things to this side of the screen, what I would recommend is losing these social links, because somebody's not going to go to your website and then bounce to your social. So you can deprioritize the crap out of those social links, and then move your navigation either down here or up here, and decrease the logo in the hierarchy of things. And that way they know that this is the primary nav area of the site, and that's where they're going to go for to kind of click around. So let's see. Go back to 100% here. Okay. If I want to go to projects. Okay. So again, I do think that the body text, like the leading might be even a little too much here, but you notice that the body text is different than the homepage. Like we have the tracking is fixed on this, so it's better. But I do think like the spacing is still pretty strange, because like if you notice, here's a heading, and then here's the text below it. So if we can see, like the highlighter, there's no gap there. And we go down here, you see the difference in the distance between these two things. So again, consistency. You don't have to do so many tricks. You just have to be consistent, and the users will appreciate that. Same thing with this. Like, it's all bold versus these things, you know? So consistency and simplifying things is going to be the best way to go. Okay, let's take a look at one of the case studies. I almost like this layout better. Even though it's hyper simple, I almost like this layout better because of its simplicity. And you'll notice that like this text is nice, it's easy to read, it's well set. This text is probably a little small, like the line length is super long, so we may want to fix that. But yeah, I would reconsider this. Also, where'd your nav go? It's gone, homie. So I'm thinking that it opened in a new tab. You probably won't want to do that. You probably want to pull everything in on the same. Oh, it's even on the same URL. So yeah, I would avoid opening a new tab for something like this and just keeping the user in there and then making sure that the navigation follows. Okay, so it's the same thing with every piece here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go back to the homepage. I'll hit one more topic before moving on. So here's the homepage. Hey, that's working now. The thing that we do is we read headlines. That's how we navigate the text on a website. And so what we're going to do is we're going to read your headlines, and we are going to see if it makes sense. So here we go. You ready? Content creation that authentically connects you to your tribe. Let's just call it what it is. Vue Projects, it's all about community. I'm going to say that like it's not terrible, but it's not giving me any information. Like if I'm browsing this site really, really quickly and I'm looking for something to bite in on or something to click through, I'm not seeing a headline that's gonna grab me from the scroll and hold me to that section of the page. And the one headline that's close is, let's just call this what it is. But even this doesn't say much. You know, I'm missing what are you talking about, right? So I think some more context in the headlines, and if you kind of approach that, writing your copy from a headline perspective, it's going to be a lot more fruitful for you. And I would take a look at Google Analytics, because I suspect that your bounce rate on this is going to be super high, which means the user is going to come in, they're going to scroll, they're not going to see what they want, and they're going to bounce out. So I think that making some of those tweaks that we talked about will help that bounce rate. Okay, I think that's about it. I hope you're okay. On Discord, it sometimes creates these mic issues. Yeah, sorry about that, dude. I'm gonna give you the boot, but thank you. This was a really cool one to critique. Appreciate that. Draculante, thank you for the follow. Cool name. Okay, Rom's up next. I'm gonna pull you into the stream chat room, and let me know if you can hear me.
I can hear you very well.
Nice. Okay, cool. We can hear you as well. Let me turn up your volume real quick. Guys, how's his audio? Say something to the chat.
Hey everyone. Hope you guys are having a great day. I'm nervous, dude. Like
Don't be nervous. Dude, I'm in gym shorts, man. Like, it's all good.
Yeah, but you are about to critique like one of my first like real logos ever, I guess.
Oh man.
So yeah.
So give me some context on this. Is this for a client?
Okay. No, this is actually for an agency that I'm starting with a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
We actually have been working for the past months, and we just recently started an agency of our own. And so I'm working on maybe building a brand, doing things properly, and set some good foundation venture future. So I went into watching a lot of videos about how make logos that are memorable and that actually serve a purpose. just following the idea of like always tell stories, just use an identification sort of thing. So
Mhm.
I try to keep it simple. So
Cool.
Square Mind, the name comes from this idea. I don't know if US is the same, but in Latin America, um, many people actually see square-minded very logical people, not being graphic design. That's something me and my partner said a lot during our lives. Like, oh, you are too square. You might not be good for this. So we want to kind of use that to our advantage. Yeah, we're square-minded people, but
I like that.
work. Yeah.
That's really cool. So, what kind of clients are you guys going after?
Well, we are based in Tijuana, which you could call it like medical capital of the world. So we're actually trying to approach medical, the medical industry, talking about hospital, doctors, private practice stuff. Right now, we have a couple of dentists that are interested, working with us. So we think that we are actually going to approach that niche, taking into consideration that it's something that you regularly don't see much of, attractive graphic in those areas.
Mm-hmm.
So we think that we can actually make.
Well, I tell you what, man. The thing that I was worried about this one from the get was I was worried that it was going to be a little bit boring. But now that you're saying that you're going to pursue medical clients, it totally makes sense. And I think that you're spot on in your approach, because my initial feedback was like, dude, why don't you hire an illustrator to make you a square brain, like a square mind, and use that as an icon? Like it'd be so interesting, like to see a brain shaped like a square.
Actually, that was an idea that we had.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, we try to actually take it into consideration, but then we were like, oh, it might.
Oh, you broke up right there at the end.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. So we actually had the idea, but we never executed. We thought it might be too much because of trying.
It's interesting. Like I would continue exploring that idea, because it's always nice to have, especially with a visual name like this. It's always nice to have that kind of illustrative element to it, and you could probably do it in a way that's not too corny or too playful. That's going to turn people off. Like you probably do something a little bit more professional on the illustration. So I'd continue playing with it, but this is what we're reviewing. And
Yes.
I want to tell you, like, as far as fundamentals are concerned, I don't see any glaring issues here. I think that like the type is really nice. The contrast is great. Obviously, you've got that thin and bold weight paired. That's always a win in my mind. And the biggest concern when you put anything into negative space is that the letters are going to become illegible. And that doesn't happen here. Like we can clearly see that it's an S inside of a square. So as far as like fundamentals and design principles and stuff like that, I think you're spot on. Like you did a great job. Could it be improved? I think so. I think that like we could push this concept a little bit farther. And the biggest thing is that like what I worry about is, because the square is at the beginning of the logo type.
Yes.
It's almost difficult to read square in the wrong color. Like here, when the logo is on white, it's really easy to see SQARE. But when you start putting the logo on colored surfaces like purple, Square Mind starts coming out. And I think that like whenever we're doing some weird funky things with type, like some people will take type and they'll move it off of the screen, or they'll cut it off. Like they'll cut like half of the word off of a page. Like, I think that the most important part is that the first letter and the first part of the letter, which is like the top curve of the S in this situation, is immediately recognizable. And I think that that's the one disadvantage of having the square here, is that some people might skip it as an icon and just read Quare Mind. So I don't have a suggestion here. I don't have like a solution for you, but that's one piece that I would flag in legibility tests, is that, someone might skip that. As just an icon though, this is really strong. I like the openings of the S towards the M. The other thing that's like, it's a little bit, I don't want to say, it's difficult to find the right word to describe what I'm thinking, but it's kind of funny to put the letter S that stands for square in the actual square.
Okay.
I would almost want to put the M in the square, where it says like Square Mind, and then the word mind is actually in the square. You know what I mean? The letter M. So I'm wondering, like, if there's a version of this where you kind of swap it, and the letter M is in the box versus the letter S, and to see how that would work if it was mocked up in this way, where it said square and then mind was kind of like in the box, or the M was in the box. So yeah, I think all things that I would explore.
Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty good idea. What you said previously, where S gets separate from the actual word and Quare Mind instead of Square Mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I think putting the M where might fix it, because then where will be a word of its own,
mm-hmm.
and then just the M it wouldn't be that easy to detach the M from the word itself, because it's going to be in the middle of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's definitely a challenge. The other thing too is that maybe the word mind goes in a box, in the long version. Play around with an option where the entire word is inside of a box. Maybe it's a rectangle, maybe it's a square. I would play with both. But that way the entire word is encapsulated instead of just one letter. And then as the thing gets smaller, you can almost see the animation happens where it gets smaller, and then it's just the S and the M is in a perfect square. So all things to play around with. Like, I'm totally not saying this is a disaster. Don't start from square one. This is like, yes. These are just like, how could we just make it that much better? Okay, and then the final thing, the tagline, it's nicely aligned. I would lose the period whenever we have these things on logos. I never like to put that ending punctuation there, but that's probably personal preference. But here's the big thing with this. This says you need help to me for some reason, because we've bolded these two words next to each other. It's like, you need help. So I think instead what I would do is just change the order here and just say like, helping you, and keep that bold, help others, and then keep that bold, or make that bold instead, because that's the thing, that's the like hook that changes there. So I would just switch those if I were in complete control of this.
So that is actually great. Those are sort of amazingly good pointers.
Well, cool, man.
I mean, that you have helped like a great.
Right on. And as far as the color palette goes, I like it. Super simple, and you're going to stand out from the world of medical blues and greens. Because
exactly. We were terrified of trying those colors for that.
Yeah. Well, cool. Awesome, man. Good work.
Thank you very much for your time, man.
Absolutely. It's great to chat.
Keep amazing work.
Thank
Learning a ton from you.
All right on. Appreciate that. Thank you. All right. I'm going to give you the boot. And he's in the waiting room. And then I'm going to hang up because we got to get back to work. That was fun. Good critiques today. A lot of it's really nice when the like there's a lot to bite into, but then it's also nice to see work that like doesn't need much, and maybe it's just like going from 90% to 92%. So that's fun. That's fun. And like I said, you know, if you guys have works in progress or something like that, throw it in the critique requests channel in Discord, and we'll head over there when it's time. And I think I'm gonna keep doing these. This is a good way to interact with you guys and actually talk with you on stream. Room 9, I apologize, man. I wish that things were working out on the tech side. Okay. So now it is time for me to take a quick break. Just need to hit the bathroom and grab a new seltzer, obviously. And I'll be back. Give me 30 seconds. We'll continue on. Acid Bro, thank you for the follow. Y'all, I have confetti all over my floor. It's all over the place. Oh, man. Oh, man, thanks, John. I appreciate that. Rom and Room 9, appreciate you having the courage to step up. Thanks a bunch. Oh man, look at that name. AJ Brasso, thank you for the follow. Yo, I do stream. Well, now it's new. We're new here. We're the new guys. Check that the bathroom door is closed back there. I I had a meeting, and it was with a pretty major tech company the other day. They were looking to sponsor our channel, and the bathroom door was open, and you could just make out the toilet behind me, and I realized it too late, and then I blushed. Yeah, the disadvantages of being in a bedroom for now. I don't think they noticed, though. We'll see. All right, let's get back to work, huh? Get back to work. Okay, so we were playing around with this idea of having a dual screen. I like the button styles, but I'm not a fan of this layout. I like this part of the screen. You know, like I like this section. This one I'm not so keen on. So we're gonna try something else. It's good to explore though. Also, the thing that I'm really kind of digging is like having this distance, like the drop shadow, distancing these elements off of the back of the site is quite nice. So I think I'm gonna pursue that. It's you can barely see it probably on your screen, but it makes a big difference looking at it at size. I'm just curious, is anybody watching this on their phone? And if so, how difficult is it to see when I'm laying things out? Yeah, I like the drop shadow, or the box shadow, as they call it. Okay, so back to the notebook. Let's see, we'll go to video only and go top down. All right, back to the notebook. Here's where we left off. We tried this option here, where it's just two images side by side. We started laying out those buttons there. And so now we're gonna go here. And this is one of those things where it's like, there's typography here, it's left aligned, and it's inset in from the navigation, so it's not going to be hugged up against. And then we'll have this half and half thing going on, and I think it's going to be, we'll try like putting two background images back there, but I have a sneaking suspicion that it'll just be when they hover over this side of the screen, the image can like fold out or fold back depending on which side they hover on. So that's what I'm thinking about. This is more for text layout, and then we've got this option to do. So got some work to do. AJ, oh, that's huge. I was just reading your note. You're a developer and aspiring cinematographer in My Story in the Future and Blind. Got you into web design, and now you're freelancing, making a living. That's huge. Good for you, AJ. Man, stoked. You know, putting this monogram on screen center stage actually does tie those images together. Whoever suggested that, that was a good call. I'm still just not a huge fan of the way that it has to interact. So we're gonna move on, but it was a really good call. Okay, so now we're gonna go here, lose these items. I don't think we've got any grain on there. No. Okay. Okay, so here's the issue that we're going to face with this grid. If we have type, line it up on grid. Let's see. Let's go gargantuan. Yeah? So let's see. All right, so if we align this to the grid, the issue is that like it's going to be so close to that navigation element that it's uncomfortable. So we're gonna have to do something a little bit different there. I think we need to edit this here so we can go. Let's see, so we got 19.2, since this is 1920 wide. 19.2 is going to be 1 VW. It's 1% of the width. So let's try with, I don't know, let's say 16. So I like that, but that might be too much. So we'll go 19.2 times, I don't know, 10. Let's go 10% width. That feels a little bit better. So now if we're positioning this on the grid, giving it a little bit more space, yeah, that feels a little better. And again, I don't know if this is the right call, but we'll see. We can use that as a baseline. I don't like that. Okay, so we can go. We'll just have, there we go. So I really like the type to be aligned with the bottom, but that's not going to give me the room that I need for the two buttons. Oh no. Put that back up there. So what I was hoping to achieve with this is like, how can we left align the text, but also still continue to have this kind of like hover effect? And if everything's left aligned, it's really weird to like throw this stuff in the center. Let's see, how did I do it here? Okay, if I'm looking at my thumbnail sketch, yes, there we go. Text is larger. It's more spaced apart from the nav than it is, and I've got two icons here. So really, if I'm going to pursue this is also totally not to scale, but if I'm going to try and do this, my thought process is I need to divide the screen in half, position the two buttons, and then lay my text on there. That way I can see where everything kind of lines up. Try one more thing here. That all off. Okay, so it's gonna be somewhere around there. Right, so the middle sections are gonna be like probably left aligned here, there. That's about right. I was like, why isn't... There we go. So now that the buttons are positioned within the grid, or on the page, I should say. Oh, I did that wrong. You know what? Shoot. So it needs to be on 960. And then position on screen, because if it's a half screen takeover, it's going to take over the whole screen, and it's not going to pay attention to this nav element. The background image that floats in there is not going to stop at the grid. So instead of center aligning to the grid, I need to center align to the actual browser. Yeah, that makes a difference. And then, so if I want these to be... If I want the text to line up here, I don't know. Let's try this. Let's do 60. Nope, 90. Which I think is what this is. 88. Okay. Thanks for dealing with me while I think this through. I can tell already that this is not the right call here. Even without trying to implement anything with these buttons. The spine is too far off the grid if we're lining these things up. So let's try it. Let's try one more thing where just throw this. Maybe these are divided in half. Yeah, this is just not working. Hey, John Pantone. Greetings from Austria. Good to see you in here. Melina. Hello. What typeface is that and where is it available? It is Stelvio Grotesque. If you give that a Google, it'll pop up. And it's surprisingly affordable. Is it the weekend yet? I'm just now changing out of pajamas. I actually got a shower this morning, so I'm feeling ahead of the curve right now. Okay, so the type only thing that we have going here that's left aligned is just not working out, and I'm comfortable saying that this is a no-go. So we're gonna move on from that. Compared to even this one, you know, it's a night and day difference. So I'm cool. I'm cool with doing something else. All right, next concept is another type only, and it involves redoing the nav bar. So this was a concept that I was toying around with kind of late at night. So we'll see how much sense this makes. So we're going to lose the status check here. We're going to keep the wide nav area on this side. Actually, it probably needs to be... That's about good. Maybe we go 58 on that side, and then we take our gutter widths down to maybe 39. Something like that, yeah. Switch some things around here. In case you were wondering, these vertical lines were positioned using diagonals. So I drew diagonal lines across the grid, and then wherever they intersected, actually it probably doesn't even matter now that I've changed the grid, but I used diagonal lines, and wherever they intersected, that's where I put the horizontal guides there. Okay, so we're gonna make this a stack. Go down and change the type layout here. too far. Let's try a 15 column grid. Or actually, let's do a 10 column grid. I forget what the name of this other typeface is. Let's see. Source code. It's too far. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it just to see. Problem with Hercules is that it looks like the weight. There's no super lightweight. It always kind of looks a little bit heavy. The idea here is that we'll have the menu. We'll have the menu at the bottom there, and then we'll have just a simple meet Ben then and meet Ben now. And depending on where you hover over the screen, that then and now will change, as well as the background. That's the concept. Let's see if this works out. It's a little early for that. Hey, Dennis, thank you for the follow. So I can tell already this feels unresolved because it's missing something up top. Like it's not, there's no weight up top. And in the sketch, what I did was I fixed that with some circular text. So let's try that real quick. Go over to Illustrator and set these on a path. Do actually don't need this line here. Oops. Oh, you guys probably can't see what I'm doing here. Hold up. Oh yeah, there it goes. At least it was in view. Right. So we'll do this here. Oh, the direction needs to change. Hold up. Just flip that. And we'll go center. Whoa, what? So maybe this is something that just kind of rotates around. Really wish you could do this type on a path in XD. There we go. Might be a little much to do. Oh no, it kind of looks good. But this can like constantly spin or just rotate really slowly. Yeah, so that balances it, because the biggest thing about this is that it was so bottom heavy that we're missing something up here. So okay, and I'm envisioning these as like, you know, they like just slowly kind of pulse like this. You know, you'd be surprised that Figma can't do type on a path either. That's funny. See. Okay, if Figma comes out with a type on the path tool before XD, oh man, I shouldn't say it. I'll just quit XD. I'll go Figma full time, 100%. Because I do so much of that, you know, like typing on a wavy line. Like, come on, that's so cool. So I think those bubbles can like attach, like if you get close to it, can attach to your cursor and kind of like increase in size. It's a little too much there, Burnsy. There we go. Maybe this is destined to be. There we go. Oh snap. All right, let's bring in an image and see what's up. I mean, you can do it with a plugin. Yeah. Get out of here with that plugin nonsense. Okay, in this instance, I think that the image should just be go. I don't know why, but I really want to put a line here, right on this grid line. It's gonna be weird. It's just one of those things, I don't know. Came out of nowhere. Don't you do it. Lock you in place. Okay, so I did figure out in XD, locking does work. You can always click on it and select it, but if you're selecting like a group and you go to move it, it does keep that thing in place. So I think I was a little hard on the platform there. Earlier, I was complaining about that. I don't know why I like those lines, but I do. I do feel like that it's definitely more decorative than anything. Okay, I'm kind of digging this. Interesting. YT is here. The party has begun. Welcome. Actually, let's go. Go back here. All right, so the weakest part about this whole thing is this screen right here. It was stronger when I had that third word, but even then, like, those little points, they just look a little bit strange. Hey, Alok. Good to see you. Okay, so if I click here, see, like, this layout is strong. I like this. It's just the beginning part that is getting me. I'm also not digging this menu. Like, I put a lot of effort into it, and I'm just totally not into it. Going back. Actually, you know what? Not working destructively. Stupid. Pull it back. We'll pull this menu back in. When we're out of the experimentation phase of life, I mean this project, we'll make these components so that we don't have to mess with them all the time. All right. What can be done about this? I don't know. What do you guys think? What music am I listening to? Oh, that reminds me. I gotta put that player on stream. It's called In 4K by Harris Heller. Speaking of which, we gotta switch it up just a little bit. Breathe a little life. Turn this down just a little bit. All right. Spurn's doing great. It's like every great actor appeared in 90210 and every great designer came from the future. That's funny. Not everyone. You know, something that we've realized is that we have grossly underrepresented women on our channel, and so I'm actively seeking some ladies to come on and share their work and stuff like that. So if you guys know of any women designers that are just crushing the game right now, I would absolutely love to meet them. Okay, so this screen is the one that's bugging me, and I just I don't know what to do. Plumple says, as former law enforcement, is the coffee and donuts trope accurate? Actually, no. I love donuts, but I was kind of solo in that. In the years of policing, I never went into the donut shop to avoid the stereotype. But a lot of police officers are really, really concerned with health. So, see a lot of protein shakes and protein bars and energy drinks and stuff like that, where it's like it's probably not true health, but it's advertised as healthy products. So that's what you see the majority of the time. But coffee, yes, everybody drinks coffee. What the heck do I do here? I wonder if like visualizing the grid would be cool. And also, every department is different, like I hesitate to make any kind of like brand statements on that, because you'll have a department that is completely opposite. I was like, why is that the way? Why are you the way that you are? It was this. Okay, let's see. By making them thinner and maybe actually maybe there's too much contrast here. Sometimes making the grid visible is a cool effect, but not feeling it. I don't know, but I can tell that after pushing on this for 3 hours, it's time to walk away. Because we get to that point where I'm just like glaring at the screen, and that's usually a cue for me to stop. But I like what we've done here today. So, well, if we didn't ruin it, my God, this is really housey. Hold on, chill, Harris. Whew. Okay, so Let's pull this back over here because we kind of ruined that version that we created right here. And we can review. So far, this is my favorite that we've done with this monogram. Like that feels good to me. Obviously the orange part, it's attached to your cursor, so you won't see that kind of overlapping, or you can move it. But then this layout is like the left part of the screen here. It's cool too. Harris is live. That's funny. Like, hey, listen, slow down on the house stuff. More lo-fi. Okay. All right. Well, I'm happy with the progress that we made today. We explored all of the options on our sketchpad. And I think we're about finished. I think from here we can just kind of refine that one with the monogram. Unless inspiration strikes over the weekend. But yeah. I'm also comfortable because we played around with a lot of different navigation structures. And to me, whenever I'm designing a website, it's like the navigation structure and the page layout, like the use of the grid, are so closely tied together that once you nail that down, the rest of the page kind of like iterates through. So being able to tweak that like left margin and to see how that interacted with text versus having menu items on top, but also a side menu, all that kind of stuff really vibed well with these layouts. So we'll continue tweaking things, but I think that like we're starting to settle in on what it's going to be. And really the site it's just going to have to come alive when there's animations, like especially this front page. So next time what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the My Story page, the blog post page, and we're going to start digging into like the rest of the website, case study page. So that way we can get a really good grasp on our typography and nail down a type scale that's going to work, or a type system that's going to work. And then we should be good to move into Webflow. So pretty exciting. Yeah. How you guys doing? Hanging in there? Yeah, good progress. Thanks, AA. Hey, 2 Death Skulls. Thank you for the follow. Whoop whoop. I don't have any more. Here's some confetti that I threw. The rest of it's on the floor. Yeah. Working on all the pointers from earlier. Nice. No Dicero, still here, loving the progress. Nice, awesome. Cool. Good. I'm glad. Awesome. All right, guys. Let me just check the critique channel just to make sure that there's nobody else waiting for critique. And then close it out. Oh, Leo. Leo, do you want to jump on? Are you still on? I found one other person that's willing to toe the line. Let me know in the chat, Leo, if you're here. And is that you, Sanchez? Okay, so if that's you, go ahead and jump in the waiting room, and I'll pull you live. Oh, hello. Oh, you're bringing Ari in? Okay. I'm still in a meeting, but would you like to say hello? Say hello.
Hi.
They can type responses in the chat. Right now, we're waiting for somebody to join us in the waiting room so we can take a look at their work. This is Willow. She's 5. How do you spell your name?
Willow.
There we go.
And I have a lollipop. A gum one.
That's a big deal. Big deal.
Yep.
They say hello. Somebody says hi there. Rom says hey there. Oh, you have a green mouth? Let me see. Yep, you do. Okay. Do me a
Hold
favor.
on.
Close your door. All right, so nobody's showing up in the waiting room. Leo must have left, so we'll grab him. We'll grab him next time. So on Tuesday at 10:30 in the morning, we'll be back here doing more design, and hopefully next week, by the end of next week, we should be in a good place with the rest of the design for the site, and then we'll start development. So thanks for joining in. Thanks for sticking with the stream. I know 3 hours is a big ask, so we'll see you guys next time. We're not going to rate anybody today unless there's somebody that deserves rating. So let me just check it out, make sure. I know it's 3.5 hours actually. It's crazy. Let's see here. In the art channel, maybe. There's Bob Ross, but he doesn't need to raid. Not seeing anybody design. Listen, if you're a designer and you want to stream on Twitch, and if I see you live, I will raid you. But there's nobody today that's doing any kind of like design, web design, or logo design, or anything like that. So we're just gonna end the stream with a wonderful thank you. Thanks again for joining. I will be on this weekend at some point. I'm either going to be doing a keyboard build or we're going to be streaming Warzone. So just keep that, turn those notifications on if you want to hang out. I'm going to try and convince my brother to go online tonight so you can see us get stomped in Call of Duty. So if you're into that kind of thing, I would love to have you. Just come hang out, grab a beer, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, everybody.